Good morning, guys. I want to show you something real quick. Do you remember that video I posted back in the summertime and where I took a whole bunch of cuttings of different types of plants, put them in a little propagation frame, little tiny one, and put them, I don't remember if I put them on the heating mat. I don't think I did. I think they just rooted. It was summertime, it was hot, and anyway, the thumbnail said uh-oh on it because I screwed up and let them get so hot and they cooked, and I thought it just killed a whole bunch of them. You guys remember that video? If you don't, I'll post a link up in the corner here now. You can go to that video and watch it. But it's September, the last couple days of September, and they've had all summer to grow. And I want to tell you guys something. I did not pot these cuttings up. Why? I just ran out of time, man. And so they've been sitting in that same propagation frame, and I want to show you what happened and what they look like now, because that uh-oh turned into a hallelujah, and they're doing just fine. I want to show them to you guys. All right, so here it is. Look at that. In fact, let me just put this guy down and I'll show you what they look like. Alright, look at these guys. They grew on nice new leaves. These are all of the yellow twig dogwood through here. We had some rows of Sharon right here. These guys were gold flame Spirea, and some of them did die. They got some roots and then they ended up burning up or something. I don't know. Maybe I didn't water them enough, but you can see I've got a lot of gold flame Spirea back in here. This guy here, this guy. So I'll be able to preserve that because I'm going to just demolish that little bed that they were in. It's overgrown with weeds. We've got all the variegated Weigela right here, and that stuff took off like crazy. Look at this, guys, all growing together here. We got some Java Red Weigela, Java Red. And then over here, we did some cuttings of, it's hard to see them, the leaves fell off, but look at that. Thank you, Johnny. Look at that. He's excited too. He knows that we had some success here. So this, well, let's see. Nah, it didn't do anything. Let's see, what's going on there? It's probably not going to root. Anyway, these guys were cuttings of a dogwood tree, and I can't remember, and so were these guys here. And I can't remember if these were the white dogwood and these were the pink or the other way around. I'm going to have to go back and watch that video. But I want to show you these guys actually rooted, some of them. I pulled the bottom up here, and let me get this thing up on a tripod, and you can see what we've got. Alright, so this is one of the flats of the dogwood, right? And there's some variegated Weigela, and you can see all the roots just growing out of there, growing out of the bottom of this thing. So that uh-oh did turn into a good thing. Lots of things rooting. But look at this. This is going to be kind of tough to show you, but this is those dogwood trees. That little group of three right there is those dogwood trees. And I can't remember if it's the white or the pink, but there's roots coming through. Do you see them? Those little dogwoods. See that big fat root down there on the bottom one? That is a dogwood tree root. Some of them might be weed seed roots. But when I start pulling up, when I start pulling on these guys, they're in there big time. They are rooted in well. Let's pull one of these guys up. Look at that. Jeez. Pulling them out of the package. I got roots growing all the way through all these guys. So tons of roots, no problems there. Here's some more for you. Look at that. I mean, just growing like crazy. It might be kind of tough to get out of here, but like I said, I ran out of time. Alright guys, so this little uh-oh right here turned into something not so bad. Now, they don't look like much right now. I mean, they're just little rooted cuttings, but I will pot these up probably next spring. I'm just going to leave them in here just like this, wide open, with no covering, no protection or anything. These little cuttings, they're hardier than you think. And it gets 12 degrees in this hoop house when it's 12 degrees outside. But they'll be fine. All the leaves will fall off. They're deciduous cuttings, or deciduous plants, and so all the leaves will fall off. They'll be really hardy and they'll do just fine through the winter. But next spring I'll pot these guys up and they'll grow into beautiful lush plants in pots, or I could plant them out in the landscape and they'll be absolutely beautiful. So Anyway, real nice success. I just wanted to show you guys that and show you how this little project came along. So I just wanted to show you guys a quick update on that if you're following along with that little experiment. And I'm pretty excited about those dogwood trees. Those were not actually like a variegate or a red twig or yellow twig dogwood. Some of them were, but the ones that I showed you that had the root coming out of the bottom, that was a dogwood tree, and I didn't know that you could root them with cuttings, but I started reading about it, and it turns out you can because they've got roots on them. I'm not sure if that was the pink or the white. I'll look back and see, but if you want to check out that previous video, click on it. It's up in the corner, and check out, you know, where we started with all those guys. But they'll just sit in there in the tote. They'll go through the winter, freeze hard as a rock. We'll pot them up in the spring, and they'll turn into beautiful landscape plants. And I'll probably take some videos of that moving forward next spring. So I hope you guys have an awesome week. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you want to follow along. And until next time, adios.